Welcome to Hotline TV, everyone. I'm Amy Walter.
And I'm John Mercurio. All right, today we are going to look at the future of the Republican Party. Just today, the Republican Party, well, not the Republican Party, but a few Republicans are getting together, and they're forming an organization called, and I'm going to have to write this down, the National Council for a New America.
We like to call it NCNA.
NCNA. NCNA.
It kind of sounds good. Doesn't it? Little rolls off the tongue.
Kind of catchy. Kind of makes a little tickle in the back of your throat. All right, new organization trying to revive the Republican Party, trying to help them reform the message and look forward to new victories in 2010 and, more importantly, 2012.
That's why we are presenting today.
We are.
The steps to recovery,
The
12 steps, if you will, to 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Republicans. You can thank us for this later. Now, unfortunately, because we have a short show, and we didn't have enough time to come up with 12. We are just going to go through a couple of them, so some highlights.
Sure, we'll give you the best, the highlights.
All right. So my number one suggestion, but we're going to call this a step.
Sure, it's
step
a step.
slash suggestion is, how about a message that works in the suburbs? I'm not a demographer, but I know a couple of things. One, country's not getting any more white, and two, country's not getting any more rural. So if you're going to talk to people who live in non-rural and places where there are lots of different ethnicities, good idea to have a message that actually resonates with them. That, I think, maybe it might segue to your point about getting out of Washington.
Well, yeah. Oh, you're reading my notes.
I'm sorry, I'm cribbing. I know. I was
sort of related to that, and it's part of what NCNA, the National Council for a New America, is proposing to do, which is holding a broad organization, a broad array of town hall meetings outside the Beltway, meeting with people. Right. What the Republican Party, I think, is struggling with right now is the sort of inside the Beltway messaging, the media, which is clearly not helping them move the storyline along. What they want to do, what they need to do, I think, get outside, talk to voters, hold these town halls, let people know, that they're there and that they're listening to their messages. So I think that's an important, in the suburbs, but also in rural areas and in cities.
We'll do it in all kinds of places, but the message has to resonate where people live.
Right.
That's just,
and
might
they have
be crazy.
to get away from the D.C. bureau of CNN, MSNBC, and Fox, because that sort of inside the Beltway chatter, I think, is what's really hurting them right now.
All right, another step, stop the RNC infighting. I know there's frustrations about Michael Steele. The two of us have had our own criticisms of the RNC chairman, but you guys got to figure this out. Either get rid of him or don't, and then move on. This has to stop. So just keep raising money. Look, he raised more money than the DNC did, or the RNC raised more money than the DNC did this last time. Spend the money where you need it. I don't think that anybody can argue, though they will, that money was the problem in the special election in New York 20. Right. I think there are lots of other problems there. Raise it. Figure out how to spend it, stop the infighting.
Number three. All right, at least in the short term, do what they're doing over at NCNA, the National Council for New America. What's the one word you don't hear in that title? Republican. Get away from the GOP brand. Get away from the Republican brand. Obviously not, this isn't a long-term solution, but at least in the short term, reintroduce yourselves to voters in a way that doesn't say, hi, I'm a Republican, but hi, I'm a person who believes X, Y, and Z. And, oh, by the way, after you've won them over, tell them that you're a Republican. I think the brand right now is so tarnished, the party's brand right now is so tarnished, that repackaging and reintroducing yourselves as just a more general product, I think, is really what you need.
I mean, the irony of all this, of course, is it's important to have a message. It's important to stand for something. Success in 2010 is going to be all about Obama, right? That the Republican message isn't the prompt for 2010, but 2012, and that's what we're talking about too. You need to build it up now to be ready for 2012, so voters keep hearing this and getting a sense from where you are coming.
Good.
Right? Okay. I discussed the suburbs. I think I don't know what number we're on. It's somewhere in 8 or 5 or 7, somewhere. Hispanic and younger voters, right? That's the Obama coalition, and that means doing more work in the Southwest. Now, right now, I think Colorado is going to be a very interesting test, Arizona and Nevada for Republican success. If they're going to put efforts anywhere, I think those are 3 states where they really should be focusing their attention.
Interesting. Excellent. All right, and my final one today, and this is so important, people, get away from President Bush. Let go of this of the strings, the purse strings, or the apron strings that attach you all. The NRSC today putting out an ad in Pennsylvania, trying to target, sorry, not an ad, robocalls, trying to target Pennsylvania Democratic primary voters by reminding them that Arlen Specter, the new Democratic senator from Pennsylvania, was endorsed by Bush in 2004. Sure, it's smart politics in one way, but on the other hand, it really helps. It still connects you to Bush. Let go. And the idea that Jeb Bush is part of NICNA, I think, is really questionable, because that does keep the messenger, one of the top messengers of this organization, who's going to be somebody with the name Bush, a big problem.
Interesting. All right. Well, listen, that's all the time we have, unfortunately, because
it is. We have a lot more steps that we could have gone through.
That we could have gone through, but
maybe next time.
Yeah, we'll be working on talking about those next time. Until then, I'm Amy Walter.
And I'm John Mercurio. Thanks so much for watching Hotline TV. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.